Hello everybody and welcome to today's video, and in today's video I'm doing the 2024 election prediction between Kamala Harris and Jeb Bush. Yes, I know Jeb is a meme at this point, but I'm actually doing this like legit. Or is this just a meme where Jeb doesn't win every state? You tell me. Anyways, just labeling all their safe states. Nebraska's first could be safe for Jeb. It's kind of hard to tell because they're both pretty good suburban candidates, but the suburbs are going to continue to shift to the left, which will likely bring it down to a likely margin for Jeb. For Harris, like I said, she gets Nebraska's or New Mexico and Nebraska's second, Minnesota, Maine second, and Virginia, whereas Bush gets Nebraska's first, Kansas, Missouri, Mississippi, South Carolina, Indiana, Iowa, and Alaska. In New Mexico, Harris is going to do well enough with the Hispanic and Latino vote, and oil workers probably just have a smaller share of the electorate. In Nebraska's second, she's going to do well enough in the suburbs, and they're going to continue to shift to the left. Minnesota, Jeb Bush is going to get less rural turnout. And the working class is probably going to be fairly, well, I always blank on words sometimes, for whatever reason, I'm blanking on the actual word, but they're not going to have much of a share of the electorate. They aren't going to matter very much in this in this prediction, or their winning the vote of the working class won't matter very much in Minnesota in this election, because the working class just wouldn't turn out at very high rates. In Virginia, I mean, Jeb is going to do pretty decent in the suburbs. Harris is also going to do pretty well. Jeb is going to get less rural turnout, whereas Harris is going to do pretty well with the black vote. Maine at large, I mean, Jeb is going to do pretty well with white rural college educated voters, so he'll probably shift a little bit to the right. For Jeb's, like I say, it's in Alaska. He's going to we're going to see more and more Native American voters turn out, which is going to shift it to the left. But especially considering the fact that oil workers are probably going to turn out at lower rates, which will probably shift it to the left. In Kansas, Jeb is going to get less rural turnout, and the suburbs are going to continue to shift to the left. Nebraska's first, the suburbs are going to continue to shift to the left. Missouri, Jeb is going to get less rural turnout, and Harris is going to retain enough turnout from St. Louis and Kansas City. Iowa, Harris is pretty. They're both pretty bad for the rural vote, but I see Jeb having enough appeal, or I see there being enough anti-Harris turnout that Jeb carries it likely. Indiana, I see Harris retaining a lot of turnout in Indianapolis and a lot of black turnout in Gary, and the suburbs continuing to shift, whereas Bush would get less rural turnout and do worse with the working class. South Carolina and Mississippi. South Carolina is like 5-6% to the left of Mississippi, probably. But in those two, basically, we're probably going to see Jeb get less white rural turnout and Harris do pretty well with the black vote. For Harris's lean states, she gets Nevada, Michigan, Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, and Georgia, whereas Jeb gets Arizona, Texas, Florida, and Ohio. So in Nevada, Jeb is going to get less rural turnout, and Harris is going to do pretty well with the Hispanic Latino vote. In Arizona, Jeb is just going to do well enough with traditional conservatives in the suburbs. Texas, Jeb is going to get less rural turnout. The suburbs are going to continue to shift, and Harris will likely do better with the Hispanic and Latino vote. Florida, Jeb is too strong for older white voters and too strong for suburbanites. Even if Harris does do pretty well with the Hispanic and Latino vote, it'll probably still go to him by a lean margin. In Georgia, Jeb is going to get less rural turnout. Harris is going to do well in Atlanta. She's going to do pretty well with the black vote. She's going to do pretty well in the suburbs. She's probably going to do pretty well in the suburbs of Atlanta that are diversifying. I think suburbs of Atlanta, but in Ohio, Jeb is going to get less rural turnout and there's the working class is going to be I'm blanking on the word. Sometimes I do this. I'm sorry, you guys, but the working class isn't going to have as much of an impact on the election. So I think that there's going to be significantly less working class turnout from both sides. Harris is going to do pretty well in the suburbs, though, and she's going to do well enough with the black vote in all these bigger cities that she's going to only lose it by a lean margin. Oh, also Jeb gets main second. He has enough populist appeal, or rather, Harris has so little populist appeal. And like both of them don't exactly have a whole lot of populist appeal. Michigan, Jeb is going to do worse with the rural vote. They're both going to do worse with the working class. Harris is going to do pretty well with the black vote and do well enough in the suburbs. It's a fairly similar thing with Michigan, except for it's like a little bit 1.5% to the right. And for the tilt states, there are only two actually. One goes to Harris, which is Wisconsin, and then North Carolina is sort of a toss-up. But I'm going to give it to Jeb. So in Wisconsin, Harris is going to do pretty well with the black vote, do pretty well in the suburbs, whereas Jeb is going to get less rural turnout, and the working class is not going to have much of a consequence. They're not going to have much of an impact on the election, as less working class voters will turn out. North Carolina, Jeb is going to get less rural turnout, and the working class isn't going to turn out at very high rates, whereas Harris is going to do well enough in the black vote, and do well enough in the suburbs. I see Jeb doing just well enough in the suburbs that he narrowly carries it. This could easily go to Harris, though. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like below. Stay tuned for my next video tomorrow. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please comment your suggestions down below, and I'll see you all in tomorrow's video. Bye!